See if England can top the group. If they don't and they finish second, England will be back here on Saturday to face the Germans. Meantime, France have won a free kick just over the halfway line. And Dembele plays it short to N'Golo Kante, rolls it back to Saliba.
I'll tell you what, Poland are going to have to start the game a lot better than they started against Austria. The first 10 minutes in that game, Austria were at them, they pressed them, they won the ball back high up, they caused them problems. Against this French team, if you do that, you could be 2 down before you know it.
Oh, Rabiot now trying to dart through a couple of Polish players on the left wing, and they prevent the corner, Poland, but it is a throw. 10 yards from the corner flag. Referee's got to do his shoelaces up before the throw can be taken.
Yeah, Bradley Barcola, they're being really positive, trying to get a 2-3. He's been doing that all season for PSG. But as I said, Poland, they have to start. They've got to find a way of getting up the pitch and trying to get support to Robert Lewandowski. It's going to be a long afternoon for him.
Barcola collects the throw from Theo Hernandez, elects to go back towards the halfway line, and Aurélien Tchouameni. Lovely little lofted pass from Tchouameni out to Jules Koundé on this near side, the French right. Kante now picks it up in field. 0-0, 3 gone on TalkSport 2. And the French now coming forward with Hernandez. Finds Barcola out on that left wing, level with the edge of the penalty area. Frankowski trying to close down the space. Barcola drives past him brilliantly, pulls it back to the penalty spot intelligently, and Jakub Moder turns it behind for a corner. There was nobody there in French blue to turn home what was a sensational run across from Bradley Barcola. 0-0.
The only one that was in there was Dembele, and he didn't really have any movement. He kind of hung along the back post. I think in that type of situation, you see him going down the line, you have to get yourself to that front post space.
First corner of the game, Dembele to take it for France. Right-footed in swinger, but have to take it again because there was a bit of pushing and shoving that the referee was spotting just as the corner was about to be taken. So Dembele gets a second go, and the referee making that similar as if to say no more. So this is the pushing and shoving. Tchouameni.
This is where we feel at home, where we learn
Across that was, and if I'm Dembele, I'm screaming at the 2 centre halves, I'm screaming at Mbappe, where are you? The ball practically bounced in the middle of the 6-yard box and went out for a goal kick. Surely, that's exactly as an attacking player where you want the ball. It was the right pace, the right area. You're begging somebody, make the run into that 6-yard box. It's practically a tap-in. The fact that no one's there, I'm really disappointed if I'm Dembele.
So no Griezmann today for France. He started their last 11 games at the Euros. His only game on the bench at the Euros was in 2016, the second game. He came off the bench to score against Albania. He will be chomping at the bit to get out there at some point this afternoon. Particularly the way the French have started, very much on the front foot. Poland have barely got the ball out their own half. They've got a chance to do so now on 5 minutes with Frankowski on the far side of the field there, right. Lovely ball in field from Sebastian Szymanski. Now Lewandowski lays it off to Szymanski. Great run through the middle, but it's cleared away by Saliba. Zielinski with a drive from the edge of the area, well held. Low down to his left by Maignan. 0-0.
Do you know what? Lewandowski's touched at Ubanski. He's got to give it back to him. If he gives it back to Lewandowski in that particular area, he's got a shot on goal. But the fact he took that extra touch right on the edge of the box allowed the space to kind of condense. If he'd have popped it back to him one touch, Lewandowski's got a free shot from 10 yards out.
As it was, it's a decent enough hit from Szymanski, but well held by Maignan. That's the first effort on goal. And unlikely as it may seem, it came from Poland after the way France had dominated the opening 6 minutes. 0-0 on TalkSport 2 here at the Borussia Dortmund home, the Westfalenstadion in the Ruhr Valley. The ball goes out of play for what should be a French throw. Barcola hits it against Jakub Moder. And the throw taken quickly by Rabiot, and he gets it back from Hernandez. He's on the halfway line, right on the far touchline, Adrien Rabiot. Never been backward in coming forward about expressing his feelings, Adrien Rabiot. And he's fallen foul of Didier Deschamps before now. Refused to be a standby, you might remember, for a major tournament. And that didn't go down well.
0-0, that's
he's back
right.
in favour and playing out on the left of this midfield three for France this afternoon. He receives the ball now. Clips it back to Saliba. Upamecano, I'll get it right, get my teeth in. Just to his right, finds Jules Koundé.
Oh, yeah, right. You bet it all on the cup.
Just over the halfway line. Might have a run at Zalewski here. Elects to come in field and then knock it backwards of square to N'Golo Kante. Now the captain Mbappe, the man in the mask, out to the left-hand side.
Everything's always the male's fault in Canada.
Far touchline. Mbappe gets it back just in field, just jinks further in field, almost shaped to shoot for a moment. But he will find Dembele. Koundé on the overlap, but Dembele going down the right side of the box himself, tries to pull it back, but it's a weak cross and easily picked up by Zalewski. who drifts down this left-hand channel, hits the ball against N'Golo Kante and wins a throw.
As Zalewski was winning the ball out there, and he done really well, to be fair, to pick up the second ball. He tried to run N'Golo Kante, and in my mind straight away I thought absolutely no chance. I mean, what is quite interesting from this French team, the way they've lined up, is N'Golo Kante's playing a little bit further forward, which is quite surprising because for me he's one of the best holders, if not the best on the planet. The fact that he's playing a little bit more advanced, it's quite clever that from France.
Over on TalkSport, Austria have the lead, an own goal by Daniel Malins giving them the lead against the Netherlands. That puts this group firmly in France's hands. If they can get the win here, they will top the group. But it's 0-0 here with 8 minutes gone on TalkSport 2 on this very sultry afternoon. Bright sunshine in Dortmund. Upamecano guides the ball back to Manuel. Lewandowski closes down the space to an extent, but France are able to pass their way out their own penalty area. But then Hernandez is pressurised by a combination of Frankowski and Urbanski, but a foul was given against Theo Hernandez, and the French have a free kick, and you can hear what the Polish spectators to our right think about that decision. 0-0.
Yeah, which is good pressure from Poland. Really good pressure, kind of penned Hernandez back into his own corner on that left-hand side, and it probably was a foul, maybe a little bit over-eager, but that's the thing about when you're playing up from the back. No one wants to just clear it. It's always got to be the perfect pass, but I think sometimes the very best defenders, certainly throughout history, if it's there to be cleared, they'll just clear it.
Chouameni with another lofted pass to Koundé, gets up to the halfway line for France. 0-0 on TalkSport 2 against this Polish side who are bidding to avoid losing all 3 group stage games. That's never happened to them before in their previous European Championships. Mbappe, good skill and good close control of the ball on the right wing, knocks it back to Kante. Now Dembele, right-hand corner of the box, goes on the outside of Davidovic, gets to the byline, pulls it back, but that's good goalkeeping by Skorupski. Flew out to the edge of his 6-yard box and claimed the ball well, and a good overarm pass out to Urbanski on the far side of the field. But French now get men behind the ball, and Poland slow the game down. 0-0.
Do you know what? I really like Dembele in his first couple of minutes. He's getting it, he's been really, really positive, getting at Jakub Kiwior. The only thing about Mbappe, because he drops so deep to pick up the ball and he's wonderful at it, is that when Dembele is direct and goes at the fullback and they cross it, he's nowhere to be seen. He's not getting himself in the box, and that leaves, like the first instance, it was Barcola was in the box, and this time as well, Mbappe's about 5 yards outside the penalty area. You want him in there, in and around the 6-yard box, getting those tap-ins.
What I should stress at the moment, with that Austrian goal against the Netherlands, Austria are topping the group at the moment. France are coming second, and the Netherlands are down in third as things stand in Group D. Here's N'Golo Kante finding Dembele. Oh, he just skips past Zalewski. He's got space to gallop into in the area. 3 to pull it back to. Looks for Barcola, misses it. Hernandez coming in. Oh, it's put wide by the foot of Skorupski, who defended his near post just in the nick of time. But it's another French corner. 0-0.
Dembele's a real danger at the minute. He's the one who's getting at the fullback every single time. He's picked up the ball. He's got a Kiwior. He's got Zalewski, and he's going past them at will. That time there, he looks up, and I just think the movement was a little bit static. Again, Mbappe pulls up to the edge of the box. There's no real pass on there. It's only Bradley Barcola who gets to that back post.
Short corner, and it's Mbappe who picks up the short corner on that left-hand side. Just chips it to the far post, headed up in the air by Saliba. Upamecano's up there with him. Now Jules Koundé knocks it down into midfield. Saliba has to go back to the last man, Kante, just ahead of the centre circle. It's fed out wide to Koundé. Cross is poor, but it might make its way through to Barcola. Desperate defending by Frankowski. And now Lewandowski is back on the edge of his own penalty area. Will try and help Poland clear their lines, and eventually it's put out of play for a France, though. They just can't get out when they want to. Poland 0-0, 11 gone.
You can't keep giving this French team opportunities to attack the box, because as I said, so far not really much has come down that left hand side. It's been all Dembele on this right hand side, but again, they're starting off the way they started against Austria, really slowly.
It's the former England striker Darren Bent alongside me, Ian Dante, here at the Dortmund Stadium on TalkSport 2. England play later, of course, against Slovenia. 8 o'clock kickoff, live on TalkSport. All the build-up will start with Adrian Durham and the team from 7 o'clock in Cologne. And then, of course, you can react to the action straight after on the sports bar with how England get on as they bid to win their group. France are not winning their group, and neither are the Netherlands, because with Austria 1-0 up, they would go through as group winners if things stay as they are. To that own goal. Apparently it's the earliest own goal in Euros history from Daniel Malin. It's put Austria 1 up in Berlin, where we were the other day. watching Poland lose to Austria. Lewandowski, who came on as a sub in that game. Lovely chip ball out to the right-hand side. He's made a great run through the middle. He was looking for the return pass from Szymanski. And by the time the ball was sent in field, the French had players back in control of the situation. Oh, lovely turn from Mbappe. Sets N'Golo Kante away. And then unselfishly, he tried to feed it out to the left wing for Barcola. But he just toe-ended it straight out of play for a goal kick, 0-0.
Really good play from Mbappe there. Knew his surroundings. Just let the centre half get tight to him, and it felt him. I think it was Bednarek who came up behind him and just turned him and rolled in Kante. And in Kante, it was the right thing to do because Barcola, if he executes the pass, Barcola's got the freedom of this half to go through and have a 1v1 with the goalkeeper. But Kante, the first thing he's got wrong this whole tournament.
Now Poland coming forward with Kasper Urbanski. Just rides the challenge of Koundé. Moves into the French half of the field. Lovely reverse pass at Sebastian Szymanski away. And his drive is hit behind by Hernandez, who blocks it. Good covering from the left back, coming across to the right-hand side of his own penalty area. But Poland now have their first corner of the game at 0-0 on TalkSport 2.
Really good play from Poland there. Little 1-2s in and around the box. People not going with runners. And Kasper Urbanski, I mean, he goes through there. I'm thinking, square it, because if he squares it, then I think Frankowski's got to tap him. But this is fair. Good defending from Koundé. Really good defending.
So Sebastian Szymanski will have the resulting corner kick. At the yellow wall end to our left, it'll be a left-footed outswinger. For corner, it's headed only half clear, driven back in, and straight at the goalkeeper. Magnon, who then runs into Lewandowski. The chance came to Kasper Urbanski at the edge of the area because France did not clear their lines well at all. But Urbanski shot straight at Mike Magnon, who then barged into Lewandowski. Lewandowski, the aggressor, says the referee. Free kick France, 0-0.
Yeah, it's a good chance that for Urbanski as well. I mean, it's a difficult one because it bounces up. It comes to him quite quickly. I mean, he hits the target, which is all you can ask. But again, there it's hard. He could take a touch, a crowded penalty area. He does well to hit the target on his left foot as well. And it's a comfortable save from the goalkeeper. But France have got to pick up those second balls.
So Poland have had a couple of little sighters in this opening quarter of an hour. We're ticking round towards 15 minutes on TalkSport 2 here in Dortmund. Temperatures around about 27, 28, not too dissimilar to what you've got back in the UK from what we're being told, which is nice to hear that you're sharing the sunshine with us. Mbappe gives the ball back to Hernandez on halfway. Tchouameni lays it off to Saliba. And now Barcola, this little boxer tricks who emerged at Lyon before his big money move to Paris Saint-Germain. As we say, just winning his third cap this afternoon and his first at a major tournament. But it's on the other side of the field, the near side to us. Dembele, right-hand corner of the box, goes in field to N'Golo Kante. He gives it back to Dembele. Koundé's there for the overlap, but the ball swung in deep and beyond Barcola, beyond the far post. But Mbappe is out there. And the ball ricochets into the path of Hernandez. Mbappe again. Up against Sebastian Szymanski, level with the edge of the area, drives in field from the left-hand side, but good touch from Szymanski, roared on by the Polish fans, and now Szymanski trying to lead a counter-attack. Only Lewandowski ahead of him. To his left is Nikola Zalewski, picks up the ball now, faced up by Koundé and Kante. Goes back into the edge of the centre circle for Jakub Moder of Brighton. Now Zielinski, the real creative hub in Poland's midfield, their number 10, who was captain in Lewandowski's absence. He has the ball again, just over the halfway line. Tries to play on the ball in the feet to Szymanski, makes it in the end via a deflection off Tchouameni. And here's Jakub Moder, just by the centre circle. To his left is the Arsenal man, Jakub Kiwior. Now Zalewski, hugging the left wing, looking to take on Jules Koundé for praise. Tries to whip the left-footed cross in, but out of play for a throw. 16 gone on TalkSport 2.
Certainly having a lot of the possession out on the edge of France's box. Little 1-2s. It's working well. They're not going with tracking with runners.
And then Jakub Moder decides he's going to have a crack at goal from fully 35 yards out. And, well, it's a long way to the back of the yellow wall. That's in fairness to him, he didn't make halfway up that stand, but it was well over, 0-0.
Do you know what? I think Poland just realising now that other than Kante, you got Tchouameni, you got Rabiot, these guys are not really wanting to put the shift into run back, and they're just committing one or two more men forward, and it's causing France a problem, especially on transition. Every time they win the ball back, they're at France's backline as well. There's only Kante there holding, so it's really patient play and effective play from Poland so far.
Sure, word will have got out there to the French players that the Netherlands are behind. and that Austria are winning the group at the moment as things stand. It's 1-0 to Austria, courtesy of a very early own goal. That game's live over on Talk Sport right now if you want to catch that with Adam Bridge and Mick McCarthy. Any of you Scotland fans who want to avoid England tonight, Denmark-Serbia is here on Talk Sport 2 at 8 p.m. Ball's back with Pavel Davidovic, one of the three Polish centre-halves, and back to Lukas Skorupski, who is winning his 11th cap. He's the established number 2 for Poland behind Szczesny after the retirement from international football of Lukas Fabianski. He's been the number 1 at Bologna for 6 years, Skorupski. And he's made one good save, good handling at his near post, Darren Bent, when the cross came in from Dembele. It was important handling.
There was, yeah, he's blocking out that near post as well. And he's been, they've not really tested him enough, I don't think, France.
Not at this point. 18 gone, 0-0. And here is Obransky, laying the ball off to Jakub Kivior, pushed into midfield. Oh, he shows too much of that to Barcola. And now it's 4-on-3 for the French as Kanté comes charging through the midfield. Dembele to his right, slips in Dembele, head to the 6-yard box. Great save. Skorupski comes back to N'Golo Kanté inside the area. Tries to tee at Dembele, but the pass is too heavy. And just as we were talking about Lukas Skorupski, he comes up with a big save to deny Ousmane Dembele an opener for France. 0-0.
Great save from Skorupski, but really poor finish from Dembele. I mean, he doesn't do anything with it. Kanté does everything right. He drives with the ball. I think he releases the ball to the right side at the perfect time. And Dembele just hits it at the goalkeeper. Rather than trying to pick out a corner by keeping it low, or I would always go across the goalkeeper in that situation. Go into the near post. It's a very small margin of error. You can't score in that area. It's the wrong height, the wrong finish, poor execution.
That's Darren Bent alongside me, Ian Danter. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport 2, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. The score is France 0, Poland 0. 19.5 minutes gone. The Italian referee has just awarded France a free kick over on the far side of the field. Not quite at the midway point of the Polish half. Les Bleus all in blue today, Poland all in red, slightly graded red shirts though, from dark to lighter as they go from top to bottom.
Do you know what, Dan? In that scenario there, I'm thinking, because the talk before the game started, and certainly is that France struggling to score goals, not as effective in the final third. But a lot of them make the same movement. That's the problem. So when Dembele gets the ball on this right-hand side, he's looking up. He's wanting someone to almost bust the gut to get into that 6-yard box for a tap-in. You've got Mbappe that pulls off to the penalty spot. You've got Bradley Barcola, to be fair to him, he's trying to get in there. You've got Tchouameni or Kanté on the penalty spot. You've got a cluster of French players all in about a 5-yard radius of each other. There's no movement. No one's going near post. No one's going back post. They're all in the same area.
You've got Giroud on the bench who could do that.
This might be a game for him.
0-0 at the moment. Hernandez for France finds Mbappe, just turns the ball out to the left wing, and Barcola gives it back to Mbappe, approaching the left-hand corner of the box again. He was shaping to shoot from distance there, but instead sends it across to Jules Koundé, infield to Kanté. Now Dembele right wing, Zalewski backpedaling. Will Dembele try and go on the outside of him? No, he fires the ball early into the edge of the area for Koundé, tries to lay it off for Rabiot. Ball ricochets out to Kanté on the right wing. Slides it down the right-hand side of the box for Dembele. Nutmegs Kivior, but then runs into Jakub Moder. And then Kanté can't keep the ball in play. In fact, he fouled his man in trying to win the ball back. And Poland have nearly survived the opening quarter of the game. Certainly the first 5 or 7 or 10 minutes, Darren Bent, were all France, but Poland have had their moments at 0-0.
They have, yeah. I mean, obviously, Yabanski's tested Mike Mannion, comfortable save, but I just think, again, France, they get the ball wide. And this is, so far, I mean, we're only 21 minutes in, but this might be a game for Olivier Giroud, because in that type of situation there, Dembele, don't think, just put it in the box with a cross, and you know Giroud will be there, and then you pick up the piece. He's either going to score or knock it down for somebody. But at the minute, they're trying to be too precise, and that's why Poland are getting back in numbers.
Skorupski wallops the ball downfield, looking for Lewandowski to win the header, but Upamecano wins it instead. Moder manages to knock down the second ball, but it won't come for Poland. Instead, Koundé lofts it clear up to halfway for France, but a push by Dembele on Kivior gives Poland a free kick. Poland have scored more than one goal in just one of their 16 Euros matches, and that was a 3-2 defeat to Sweden at the last European Championships. And they only scored one when Darren Bent and myself saw them in Berlin against Austria got themselves level through Piontek, who's on the bench today. But in the end, a great goal from Austria sealed the deal, and Poland are eliminated. But they're pushing here with Zalewski darting down the left-hand side of the box, chips the ball to the far post, and it's headed out by a combination of Saliba and Upamecano, but it comes back to Szymanski, and a flying header from Upamecano diverts it behind at the yellow wall end for a Polish corner, 0-0.
Do you know what? The referee's having a word of Upamecano, because Lewandowski's movement is so clever. He goes to spinning behind, he comes short, and just as Upamecano comes to go, he spins it behind, and he was away. And Upamecano's grabbing him, he's holding him, and I think the referee's saying, I've seen it, but if he continues to do that, you're going to get booked.
So Sebastian Szymanski with a second Polish corner at the yellow wall end to our left-hand side. It'll be a left-footed outswinger from him, deep to the far post. Flicked out by Barcola. And Mbappe trying to get away from his man. He's clearly having his shirt pulled. And the referee wants to book the Polish player Zalewski, even though Mbappe managed to shrug him off and was motoring clear. Yellow card awarded to Nikola Zalewski at 0-0.
Yeah, probably the right decision from Zalewski, because anyhow Mbappe's got free. There was no other planet Zalewski was catching him, so he just thought, you know what? So I can allow my rest of my teammates to help me out. I'll just take his shirt. I thought probably we would have swapped after the game, but clearly he wanted to do it then and get back into shape.
Here's Jules Koundé for France. Quarter of the game gone. We played 24 minutes on TalkSport 2. Tchouaméni in the centre circle, which is shaded. Gradually more and more of the pitch is getting in shade, the shade coming towards us as we sit in the east stand here. Ball work back to Adrien Rabiot, midway point of the Polish half, out on the left-hand side. Barcola trying to roll his foot in the ball with his back to goal and try and work an angle, but tried to do too much, and Poland won the ball back. And it's tucked back by Kiwior to Skorupski, his keeper, who, under pressure from Conte, passes the ball very calmly out to Frankowski on the right-hand side, 0-0.
I mean, Bradley Barcola there, he's trying to be positive, but he's going into an area where there's way too many bodies. And again, that's the problem, is that they're looking up to cross it, and Mbappe's on the edge of the box. There's no real target in there. You get a Giroud on, then you ain't even got to think about it. You pop it into that area, and he's there.
Poland give the ball away. Dembele sends the ball out to Barcola on the left-hand side, down the left-hand side of the box, puts it across the face of goal, or tries to, and it's turned behind for a corner kick. It was Jan Bednarek that got the vital touch. A third corner of the half to France, 0-0.
Good play again from Barcola. Has been really positive this first half. But again, even if Jan Bednarek doesn't block that cross, there's only N'Golo Kante in there. Dembele's in the edge of the box. Mbappe's on the edge of the box. They've got to find a way of getting more numbers in where you're going to score goals.
Clutch of players around the penalty spot in both red and blue as Dembele prepares to take the corner kick from the far side for France at 0-0. Whistles go up for the Polish fans behind that goal to our right. And it comes from Dembele. Good claim by Skorupski, coming to the edge of his 6-yard box. Rabiot was the player closest to him for France notionally. And he ended up barging into his own player, Jan Bednarek, 0-0.
Yeah, good play from Skorupski there, getting the ball. Movement from France was a little bit better there, but the cross from Dembele had a little bit too much air in it and allowed the goalkeeper to come and claim it.
25 minutes gone in Dortmund on TalkSport 2. 0-0 the score in this Group D encounter. Over on TalkSport, Austria lead the Netherlands without having taken a shot. An own goal has put them in front, and Austria top the group. France will be second, Netherlands third as things stand. But that can all change with a goal here. Rabiot trying to do something about it for France, looking to release Hernandez down the left-hand side, but too much club on that pass. And it goes behind with a couple of bounces for a Polish goal kick, 0-0.
Yeah, they're struggling a little bit down that left-hand side, France. I mean, you've got Hernandez who's trying to do the overlap. You've got Bradley Barcola who's coming in off the line, that's allowing the space for Hernandez to get around him. You've got Rabiot going over there as well, but they're just not gelling over there at the minute.
Remember, France have failed to score in their last 3 games themselves. The only goal they've got at this tournament was an own goal. That was Max Wöber, who gave them the 1-0 win against Austria. And Mbappe's got this weird thing I was telling you about the other day, Benty, that he's failed to score from 18 attempts at goal in European Championships, and yet he's got loads of goals at World Cups, 12. It's a bit like Thomas Muller and his record for Germany. Very bizarre.
So strange that, because you're right, it's almost like the World Cup comes around, he shows up, and in the European Championships you're expecting a little bit more from him, but listen, he's a top player. That won't last. that stat there about him not scoring won't last.
And there's going to be a drinks break midway through the first half because of the really high temperatures here. As we mentioned, it's about 27, 28 degrees. Thankfully, me and Benty are kind of dressed for it. We had to buy bucket hats in order that we could see the action in this first half because the sun is starting to disappear behind the stand opposite us. And it's quite hard for us to see the monitors that are in front of us that give us technical information. But we can certainly see the players down beneath us who are now having this drinks break, either drinking the water or tumbling it over themselves. But the score at 0-0, Benty.
Yeah, it's been France have, I wouldn't say dominated, but they've been the better side for sure. Poland, a couple of opportunities. Lewandowski looks sharp if they can get him the service. But again, it comes from France. Every time they get the ball wide, certainly on this right-hand side with Dembele, they've got to find a way of committing more men into the box, not pulling off to the penalty spot. You've got to get in there, because if Mbappe makes a run into the 6-yard box, that will free up space around the penalty area for a Tchouaméni or a Rabiot to come onto, even N'Golo Kante. But at the minute, certainly from crosses, they're a little bit predictable.
That's former England striker Darren Bent alongside me, Ian Dancer in Dortmund. You're listening to Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport 2, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now. England later. It's 0-0. And France looking to top the group, but they now need a win in order to do so, based on what Austria are doing 1-0 up against the Netherlands. Mbappe sticks the black mask back around his face. He had one in tricolour colours, I noticed, when he was training.
I wonder if that's bothering him a little bit, because it's hot, the sweat getting into his eyes, because he came in at the word of Didier Deschamps, and they got gave him the towel when he dried it down, so I just wonder if that's causing him one or two issues.
You've never worn one yourself, no?
Yeah, it's a Halloween party. That's about it.
And was it itching within 5 minutes if you get through the door at that party?
You could say so.
Yeah, so we
that.
can imagine how Mbappe's feeling in 28-degree heat. He's captaining France today. The other captain out there, Lewandowski, lays the ball off for Poland from the halfway line. Back to Jakub Kiwior. Kiwior under pressure from Ousmane Dembele. Neatly turns away from him. Zalewski hugging this left-hand touchline, still in his own half. Feeds the ball in field to Lewandowski. Just drifts away from Rabiot. Good footing though from Rabiot to win it back for the French. And then Kante will look to lob it down the right-hand side. Dembele can't take the ball with him. He was under pressure from Jakub Moder. Just couldn't get the ball under his spell and take it away down the right-hand side. 0-0.
Right idea from Kante, just wrong execution, because Dembele would have been 1v1 with Jakub Kiwior if the ball had got to him, but just didn't manage to get there. Too much error on the pass, and then Dembele could take it with him.
Now it's with Frankowski down the right-hand side, but France win the ball back only temporarily. Jakub Moder has possession. Now Jan Bednarek back in the Premier League after Southampton won the playoff final against Leeds, live on TalkSport. He finds another Premier League defender in Jakub Kiwior. Moder at Brighton tries to send the ball through the middle for Lewandowski, but out comes Manuel quickly off his line and smothers the ball at the edge of his 18-yard box. 0-0, half an hour gone.
Jakub Moder, right ball, just a little bit too much on it, to be fair, because Lewandowski, again, he's done it so many times this first half. He's gone short, and every single time he's gone into that midfield area, Uwe Meccano's come right behind him, and he just spins him. But the pass was the right pass, just wrong execution again.
Dembele inside his own half. Poor pass intended for Rabiot, but easily picked off by Sebastian Szymanski. Tries to tuck the ball in field for Urbanski, but the ball wouldn't stick with him. Tchouaméni helped tidy up for the French. And now Theo Hernandez finds Mbappe on the halfway line, out to the left-hand side. A couple of step overs, and then he tries to drift past his opposite number, Zielinski. Barcola picks it up now, left wing. Nobody in the box for France. Barcola darting in himself, but it's won back by Frankowski, just hoofs it downfield looking for Lewandowski. He wins the header on, but nobody made the run in behind. But there was nobody in the box for that French cross from Barcola.
And that's been the problem this whole first half. And you can see why the French are struggling to score goals now, because Barcola's done it, Dembele's done it. Every single time they go at their fullback and they get past him, they look up, there's not a single body in there. Kante's made it a couple of times, but he's not your goal scorer. Mbappe's your goal scorer. And I know, listen, he's one of the best players on the planet, so who am I to say anything to him? But from a scoring ugly goals point of view, those tap-ins are, you can't buy those goals. As the ball goes across the box, you haven't got to think about it, you're there.
Now Dembele with the ball right-hand side of the box this time. First time ball from Koundé, half cleared out to Kante, but he shows too much of that to Moda, and he fires the ball at field, and Lewandowski holds it up well, nearly runs into the referee, turns away and feeds it out to Szymanski on the left-hand side. Zalewski making a run ahead of him down the left-hand side, has it now up against Koundé. Sebastian Zalewski now moves up to the edge of the penalty area, picks it up now. Szymanski chips it, or attempts to chip it down the left-hand side of the box for Urbanski.
Hey, Hotboxinator, sorry, I wasn't reading the chat.
Agricultural clearance straight onto the chest of Jakub Moda.
He's still in here?
So much football, Jakub Moda. Must be delighted to be here.
I know it's one of my boring soccer
Poland
streams,
not
but
being able to get any points on the board as yet.
we're getting heavy rain out here, so there's
Out to
not
the
a heck
left-hand
of a
side,
lot
Zalewski,
going
good
on.
first-time ball. Zielinski down the left-hand side of the box, crosses to the far post. Lewandowski heads wide. He wants a corner. It's not been given. He claims Magnon got a hand to that. He didn't even have to jump for that header, Robert Lewandowski, on a plate from Zielinski's left foot, but wide of the target. 0-0.
Do you know, I think it's good defended from Saliba. It's a really good header from Lewandowski. Heads it down. I'm still not quite sure it beats Mike Mannion even if it hits the target.
It came off the outside of Saliba's right boot. You're dead right, Darren Bent.
So Saliba, I think, gets a blocking, so he's a bit unlucky there. But I was going to say, if they could get Zielinski and Robert Lewandowski in and around each other's space, they're both really good technical players. They link well. I just wonder if they'd get a little bit more joy. But because Zielinski is a little bit deeper, he can't quite get up there to Robert Lewandowski.
12 minutes to half-time. France 0, Poland 0 on TalkSport 2. In Group D, where Austria still lead the Netherlands by a 0-0, which sends the Austrians top of the pile in Group D. Would leave the French second and the Netherlands one of the best third-place teams. Poland win the ball back on halfway, and it's Urbanski who's running at Saliba now down the inside right channel. Frankowski trying to join in on that right-hand side. Urbanski slips slightly, still manages to find Szymanski. Now it's out to
Hotboxinator, are you back?
Frankowski, right-hand side, level with the edge of the area, comes in field, looks for Szymanski again. Good footing, vital footing to take it away from Szymanski. I think it was Rabiot that got the vital touch.
Oh, is that because
N'Golo Kante
you wasted
puts the ball
or
up
I
for France and tries
made
to
you lose all
release
your money
Dembele
by
down
betting on the
right
Oilers?
wing. But it's intercepted by Kivior.
Or do you have
Nil-nil the
or
score.
did something happen?
Kivior
Like
runs into
storm?
Koundé. And N'Golo Kante again. Oh, that's a bit lazy from N'Golo Kante.
Where are you? If your Wi-Fi and stuff is gone, where are you doing this from?
Straight out for a Poland throw, 0-0.
Do you know the word I'd use to describe France in this first half?
Careful.
Lethargic.
Okay.
The way that they're playing is almost like they know they're through, they're winning the group, and they don't understand obviously the situation with the Austria game, but there's no intensity to their play, there's no little 1-2s, no one's really breaking their neck to get into the box, no one's running in behind, it's all straight lines, it's slow, they're ambling.
Sounds familiar as an England fan.
Yeah, well, let's hope we don't see that later on, but yeah, France
Hey,
have got to find a way
Saint
of upping the gear a little
42.
bit, because right now at the minute, Poland are comfortable, they get back
42,
into
Saint
positions really
42,
early,
42
and then
and
it's even more
6.
difficult. A simple pass from
Jeez.
Kante, who by the way, this
That one
tournament's
gives my brain a workout.
Gives
How are
it
you
away.
doing today, Saint
10
42,
minutes.
42 and 6?
Half time, Ian Danta and Darren Bent, former England
You don't get a
striker
good
with
plan
you
out
in
there,
Dortmund.
Ferris?
France 0, Poland 0. Ball sent down the France left, looking for Rabiot, but a very comfortable header cleared by Bednarek. But it will come back Rabiot's way. Finds Barcola, this young precocious talent from
So what
Paris
happened to the
Saint-Germain.
power,
Tchouameni
Ferris?
goes for goal from fully 30 yards out, and it's comfortably blocked. And away comes Jakub Moda with the ball for Poland, but through the legs and away from Urbanski, who claims he was caught by Upamecano, and he stayed down, and the referee says that he needs treatment from the Polish physios. 9 to half
Oh,
time.
Bell. I see,
France 0,
Bell.
Poland 0. Darren Dent.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know.
clumsy,
I don't
a
know
little
what
bit naughty
the
as well
phones are
from,
like out there, but I've got a
Upamecano.
good
The ball's
plan.
gone, and just the after stamp.
I've got something
puts
like,
the
I
bad
think
to
I
his
have
ankle.
like
It's a little bit-
500
little bit
gigabytes
naughty.
of
It's certainly
data.
not a red card or anything, but clumsy.
Anywhere
is probably
data.
the word I'd use for that tackle there. Could have been given as a foul.
I had a nice drink of hot water then whilst you were talking.
I've tried to keep mine in the shade, and it's just not.
Had a
Yeah.
nice drink of hot water while you're talking there, sir.
Probably fry an egg on this desk that we're commentating from for not careful.
Yeah, dude, I
It is
can
warm.
relate to that.
But it's
Tellis
not
phoned me
affecting the
one
tempo of
time.
This game too much, certainly not from the
And,
Polish point of view.
the guy, I literally just screamed at him. I was like, dude, you're wasting my time and I can't understand what you're saying anyways. Email it or something, because goodbye. And I just clicked. Enough.
Right, rather 0-0.
Yeah, really good opportunity there from Tchouaméni. We've seen him score goals from there before against England in the last Euros.
Well,
in the World Cup.
like,
Yeah,
Ferris, I know it's different,
it's good defending,
like, across the country. And
And
I'll tell you right now, dude, as far as things that we need to buy, so we're on the subject of phone plans, don't even get me started about auto insurance in BC. That's enough to make you want to shoot somebody.
McConnell knocks it down and Saliba hooks it over the bar from about 12 yards out. Couldn't keep it down. And Skorupski, I think, had it
Oh, yeah, dude.
Kick, 8 to half time, 0-0.
Yeah, really well worked, changing up a little bit there. And to be fair, Uwe McConnell does well to knock into an area for
I'm sorry.
Saliba.
Sorry, dude. I don't want to. This isn't meant to get you riled up. I
hit
just.
the target with that kind of skill set would have been difficult. Again, France gets up in the tempo a
We
little
can
bit.
change the
As soon as they get
subject.
tempo
We'll
that they
change
did
the
that
subject.
last phase of play, they get an attempt on goal.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean any of this.
At 8 p.m. All the build-up starts in Cologne with Adrian Durham. Stuart Pearce, Jim Pratt from 7.
Yeah, man. I'm
trying to bring the ball down and smack it goals on the half volley from
you have my
25 yards
sympathy.
out.
Trust me.
As it goes horribly wide, he decides it's down to the fact that his shoelaces weren't tied properly. Wisely goes down to adjust them.
I'm sorry,
so he's
dude.
not blamed too
I'm
much
sorry.
for that effort.
Do you know what? I don't mind that. I know he smashed it wide, but
I'm not in the mindset of
attempt
going
was
around
decent because the
pissing
touch was
people
good,
off
the
on
pass was good.
purpose. It usually
It's just the
happens
execution that he got
accidentally.
completely wrong, but I don't mind that because he had no other options on. Why not hit it?
He scored 5 goals at European Championships, Robert Lewandowski. The Polish total in 5 tournaments is 12. They've won 2
You're
out
not
of
a
their
beta
16
crybaby.
matches at European Championships, this being their 5th. Best they managed was Euro 2016 when I saw them
No,
lose
but
a penalty
DUIs
shootout
ruin
to Portugal
lives.
in Marseille. France think they've won a corner, but Dembele was the last to touch
Well,
it,
whatever.
says the assistant on this near side.
I've heard the
Dembele.
DUI story so many times out here from different
6-yard
DUIers.
box for Skorupski to take the goal kick.
I think that's the right decision. It looked like Dembele tried to get there, but it looked like Jakub Kiwior got there just before and it came with Dembele's foot. But I mean, you're talking about Lewandowski.
Yeah, you didn't
And this first
vegan.
half, it's not just about
You
his
didn't
goals.
vegan.
It's about his creativity, how he takes the ball. And we saw someone absolutely fire a ball into him. He killed it with his first touch. He turned it with Meccano. It brings others into play. It's his whole all-round game.
Skorupski's long goal kick downfield, looking for Lewandowski, but Upamecano wins the header that time for France. Dembele hooks it over his head on the half.
Well, in that
Doesn't
case-
send it from right to left, but it won't find Barcola. Frankowski heads clear, but Hernandez picks it up for the French in their left back position, right by the halfway line. Plays a 1-2 with Saliba. Now Chouameni, who passes the ball along the deck through the centre circle to Koundé. Early ball looking
Yeah,
at
there's
Dembele,
lots
kicks
of
in play on
there's
the
lots of
touchline.
beta
The
crybabies
right-hand
out
side.
here.
Again,
There's
Zalewski
lots of
back
DUI
Lays
beta
it back
beta
to Koundé.
crybabies out
Back
here
into the
too.
centre of the Polish
Always
half for
crying
Chouameni.
about their
Now
girlfriends
Mbappe
that
has
aren't
the
around
left-hand
anymore,
corner box.
or their
Shot
wives
his
that are
shoulder and try
fucking
and
their
go for goal.
neighbors.
No, he rolls in Hernandez down the left-hand side of the box. Pulls it back to Rabiot with his back to goal at the edge of the area. Tries to tee up Mbappe. He's made room for a shot. Won't take the shot. Tries to play a 1-2 instead. Goes down under pressure from Davidovic. And the referee says, get up. And meantime, Poland try and bring the ball clear. But Urbanski is beat to the ball by...
It's a nice little 1-2.
Hey, did you hear that?
Just hits it.
Did you hear
He
that?
wants to take that extra touch and it kind of gets crowded out and then he dives. It's never been a foul. But just have a shot. We get to see him have a shot in this first
Oh,
half.
Ferris,
He's
don't
done the
call
hard part.
me.
Created that half a yard, just hits it.
Bradley
Don't
Barcola,
call
left-hand
me
side for the
Ferris.
French. Finds Rabiot, the left-hand corner of the box. Zielinski in front of him. Goes infield to Mbappe. Now Barcola. Mbappe takes over. Great save by Skorupski. Just turns it around
Skorupski.
for a corner kick. Suddenly it was really tight for space on the left-hand side of the 6-yard box. And Mbappe flicks it goal.
So, how much money did you lose betting on the Oilies?
He kept it out. Corner
How much did that
0-0.
cost you?
Yeah, good play there from Bradley Barcola on the half turn. And Mbappe using that pace. I mean, 5
$1
yards. Wow.
million.
Dembele's corner headed up and over by Upamecano, and that's a goal kick. But Skorupski just instinctively threw up a left glove at that effort from Mbappe, didn't he?
Do you know what he did? And do you know what the problem was? Is that because it was running out of play, Mbappe couldn't open up his body. Run down that left-hand kind of channel. You want to open your body up and use your right foot kind of guide it into that far corner. But because he's running out of space, he's trying to get contact on it as quick as possible. He's trying to just stab it into the ground, and it's a really good save.
Urbanski chests the ball down neatly in the centre circle. Then he's dispossessed by Upamecano. Rabiot, though, runs into Szymanski. He fouls Szymanski, and the referee brandishes a yellow card the way of Adrien Rabiot. That's his first of the tournament. He's not walking the yellow card tightrope like Messrs Dembele and Mbappe are. But it's a booking all the same, and Poland have a free kick, 0-0, late in the first half on TalkSport.
Did you hear that guy?
I think
Shut
Poland
up.
have done really well to kind of get themselves back into shape really quickly. I mean, the only problems they've caused themselves is when they've lost possession, and then France have kind of got Kante, Tchouaméni.
Actually, Ferris, I got a funny story about a guy I saw when I was driving, and there was a check stop on the bridge.
Bouncing in the yellow wall end, the south stand, but not a great deal for the French to cheer about. 2 minutes of normal time remaining in this first half, 0-0.
Yeah,
nothing
at all, really. Nothing at all. I mean, they've had a few moments just there. We saw.
Who else do you call, Ferris?
But in terms of their free-flowing football and their attempts on goal, it hasn't been great this first half. I said it before, very lacklustre, lethargic.
Barcola trying to
Ferris,
inject
do you have any videos of you calling
Rabiot,
people
left-hand side for France.
and putting them on like
Getting up towards the edge
speakerphone?
of the penalty area. Now Mbappe takes over. Lovely ball down the left-hand side of the box for Hernandez. Across the face of goal, it doesn't find anybody in blue. It's Zalewski who clears it away. That looked an almost certain goal for France as they got in behind. But Nicolas Zalewski back in front of goal to clear his lines. When there could have been 2 or 3 in French booth that could have tucked it away.
Yeah, it was again. Dembele was in there. To be fair to France this time, on this occasion, there are 3 or 4 in there, and he manages to evade all of them. But that's what you've got to do. You've got to get numbers in there because it's good play from Hernandez. He puts a really good ball in there. Dembele, Kante, Rabiot's in there, but it just eludes all of them. But that was better from them.
Approaching half-time, 0-0 on TalkSport 2. Barcola for France, level with the Polish penalty area. Finds N'Golo Kante. Back for Hernandez. And Mbappe again takes over that left-hand corner. Plays a 1-2, gets away from his man, tries to roll it in at the near post, and Skorupski blocks it behind. He had Dembele calling for it at the far post, didn't use him. Mbappe went for goal. Skorupski saves corner.
Really good play from Mbappe. He loves that little 1-2 with Rabiot when he's in behind. I thought he was going to get pulled down for a penalty, but I don't think Dembele was on for the cutback.
Short corner finds Theo Hernandez, left-hand corner of the box. Time to measure a crossing. Headed out by Davidovic, and then whacked clear and out of play by Frankowski. And so Mbappe still waits for his first European Championship goal. Dembele might have a word with him about half-time about not passing to him.
I bet he doesn't.
Andy Barcola picks it up instead. Left-hand side. We're into 2 minutes of minimum stoppage time at the end of this first half. And Barcola runs out of room over on the left-hand side. And it goes behind for a Polish goal kick.
I mean, it's great play from Barcola, the little back heel. But as Mbappe goes past him, I'm thinking, can he find Dembele? I think he would have closed up. I mean, the goalkeeper, Skorupski, does really well. So he kind of covers that near post angle. You've got Jakub Kiwior getting back in there. You've got David with kind of cutting off that area. So even if they had tried to square it, I think the ball wouldn't have got to Dembele.
Mbappe definitely tried to play it through Skorupski's legs. But Skorupski did like a cricketer does, fielding it long on. And just got his knee across and blocked it behind. So we're into added time at the end of the first half. In Dortmund, 0-0. Here's Jakub Moder trying to fire the ball through the centre of the field along the deck, trying to find either Urbanski or Lewandowski. Tchouaméni brings it clear. Strong run from him over halfway. Drifts out to the left-hand side and feeds the ball further down the line to Barcola. What a challenge by Frankowski, but it was too heavy, said the referee. And he's going to be spoken to. Maybe a yellow card, I'm not sure, for Przemysław Frankowski. Certainly going to be spoken to by the Italian referee. And France, right at the end of the half, have a free kick out on the left-hand side, 0-0.
Do you know, it's probably one of those challenges a couple of years ago he probably doesn't get given. But because he almost does that scissor action and leaves the ground a little bit, that's why, obviously, endangering an opponent as soon as you leave the ground, I think that's why the refs did it.
But no yellow card. Now Dembele standing over this free kick. It's a yard, maybe 2 in from the far touch line.
Yeah, Ferris, and if you have like one of those credits built up, maybe you can get the phone for free.
Holding their line 12 yards from goal. Very narrow as well.
Ferris, did you get a case? I know those cases seem gimmicky, Ferris, but they're actually good.
And Skorupski flaps it away under no real pressure, but it goes out of play for a France throw, and that is the end of a frustrating.
I got my last
first
phone
half
for
of the
free.
French, looking to try and top.
Like it came free with
They
the
have
plan
found Poland
because
a
I had
very
my
tough
old
nut
phone
to
for
crack
4
in this
years and I had
opening
built up a
45.
credit.
And in fairness to Lukasz Skorupski, coming in for Wojciech Szczesny in the Poland goal, he's been the livelier goalkeeper, but he's dealt with everything that France have thrown at him in that first half. And at the other end, Mike Manuel had to be smartly down to his left-hand side to save a shot from Urbanski from the edge of the area. Darren Bent at half-time, it's France 0, Poland 0.
Yeah.
What do you make of it?
I've dropped. Here,
Yeah,
I'm
it hasn't been.
I'm going to show you
It hasn't
mine.
been great from France from an attacking perspective. I mean,
Okay, I got an
bit too
Otter box
lethargic. It was
too. I
only
don't
the
know if
last
you can
probably
see
10
it.
minutes, you'd have to say they really maybe
Says
upped
it right
a little
there.
bit and tried to cause Poland problems. But before that, they were quite comfortable. But
And
just when they up at the tempo and the little 1-2,
I dropped mine a
with
couple
Mbappe
of times
and
on the
Bradley
brick.
Barcola,
On brick.
they just almost
got
unlocked
this
Poland
thing.
a little bit. So I think if they up the tempo a little bit, certainly in the final third, they'll cause them problems.
Yes, you can't really
Penny for
see
the
it.
thoughts of Didier Deschamps at half-time. And Antoine Griezmann, love to know what he's thinking right now, sat on the bench, wanting to be a record appearance maker at major championships for the French. Not starting today. He'll be in Deschamps' ear, surely to goodness.
I think we'll definitely see him second half. I think we'll definitely see Olivier Giroud as well.
Yeah, well,
Bradley
that kind
Barcola's
of
done
makes
really well
sense.
this first half. He's
Kind
a
of makes
young star,
sense.
21 years old. He's been really positive.
Fishing might
the only
not be the best
kind of obvious
place.
change I can see that could happen is going to be Mbappe to that left-hand side and Giroud down the middle, and then you take off one of the midfielders, maybe Rabiot, and put Griezmann in, because you can't take off Dembele. You
And if they're not proof, they're definitely
and you have to get
resistant.
Giroud on, I think, at some point, because they're getting the
I've
ball
had mine
wide,
out in the
they're looking
rain.
to cross it and they can't
It's
'cause they've
done
got
good.
no
It's
one to
done
hit.
well.
It's half-time as well in Berlin.
Oh.
The Netherlands 0,
Oh, no.
Austria 1.
Just get a new one
the
at that
earliest
point.
own goal in Euros history scored by Daniel Malin,
Oh,
putting the
Guy,
Austrians ahead. And that
my
means
sister used to work
that
at a
as
bar,
things stand,
and
Austria
the amount
will
of
win
phones.
Group D with 6
like,
points. France would finish
you'd be
second on 5.
Well,
The
you might be.
Netherlands
I don't know.
would finish third
But
on 4
phones getting
points.
left
But a lot
on
can change in
tables,
the next
phones in
45 minutes,
toilets,
both here
phones
and in Berlin.
dropped.
You can keep up
like,
to date with everything. The
I think
Euros
my
every
sister
morning.
came home
with the
after
Euros
working
All
one
Access
weekend. I think
podcast.
she
Dan
had
Matterson,
11 phones, man.
TalkSport's chief football correspondent Alex Crook are joined by some top guests every
She
day
pawned
out
some.
here in Germany, available
She
wherever
kept
you get your
one.
podcasts from. Scott Minto will be alongside the guys for tomorrow's pod. We'll talk England in a minute, but at half-time here at the Bay Stadium in Dortmund, it is France 0, Poland 0.
Like some bars are worse than others, but like this was it was kind of a dive bar that she worked at, and
Let's go live.
it was popular too, and it was pretty big inside. So yeah, when they had events and the place filled up, there'd be all sorts of shit.
Amazing. A hat trick is just the best feeling ever.
Is it though? Is kicking a ball into the back of the net really better than food?
Freaking dude, here's a crazy story. Here's just a fucking, it's crazy to me. But like on the note of like you had 500 coats to pick from. Kate, so you painted a bar, so I'm sure you're familiar with like what a mezzanine is, right? So at the one that my sister worked at, they had a mezzanine in the back that they didn't use anymore, and they were using it for storage, right? And the storage stuff had all piled up at the top of the mezzanine, and then there's like the stairs that go up there, right? And someone was like, I think it was the owner, tasked my sister and somebody else with having to go up there to like fix the, like clean or whatever, just like odd jobs, right? And they go up there, and amidst all the boxes and whatever, there's a fucking bum sleeping up there, man. He's just fucking sleeping in the stuff. Like no one knew. People were like, man, how long had he been doing that for? You know, because some days it would get really busy and there's a back entrance for the employees where they can smoke and go in and out, right? So he could have just snuck in when everyone was drunk and just crawled up there, walked up there and just camped out, literally. Yeah, it's funny you should say that too, Ferris, because where this bar was at, okay, across the parking lot there was basically another bar that was called the Corner Pocket, and it had like 20 pool tables. Like it was a bar selling pool tables, like not selling, but like that was what they were saying. Like if you want to play pool, go to this bar because they've got all the pool tables, right? And yeah, that like I don't think it could have happened at their pool hall, but it's funny that it happened to a pool hall with your story, because like I said, literally just across the parking lot we had a pool hall bar like that, and I could see someone maybe camping out up there too. Oh, they probably were, Ferris. They probably were. I worked at a kitchen when I was like 22 or 23, and I worked there for a while, and the theft was crazy. My supervisor in the kitchen, he stole 2 cases of beer and he just walked out with them. Like just fucking walked out. Didn't even try to hide, nothing, just do out the door. Did it right in front of me. He is my boss, right? So I figured like, you know, that was why he did it, was like, oh, this guy's not going to say anything. And yeah. What? Your Walmart has beer? What? Okay, the groceries I'm starting to believe you with, because I'm going to tell you right now, we have like events that go on in the city here, and the Walmart just fills up. Like there's not enough people to watch all the customers. Like if you were going to take anything, that's the time to do it, because no one is paying attention. And they're understaffed to begin with, so they would get like, that's the time. Our Walmart, I know our Walmart is letting people like, what do you call it? The theft is so bad at our Walmart, they can't even keep people staffed there because they don't have the money anymore. Yeah, well, it must only be some stores, because ours is so bad for theft. Like over the years, like after 2021, the theft has been so bad that they've gone from having like 5, 6 self checker people to like one. That's right. That's right, dogs. Fuck those big box stores. That is right. Fuck them. I yeah, yeah, yeah. Fuck off, Ferris. Fuck. Are you going to get a Google phone? Have you had a Google phone before? What do you give it out of 10? I've only ever used Samsung Androids. I haven't even I worked for someone, they had what do you call them, Apple phones, so I used an Apple phone like a long time ago in like 2010, but ever since then it was all Androids, and I've never had a Google one. So okay, well that's good. That's good to know. That's good to know that they're like equivalent, if not better. I'm not like, I don't have anything against Apple personally, but I'm not like like one of those Apple people that's like Apple everything. I'm not one of those either. And my Samsung's been good, but in the event something happens, it's nice to know that there's other like decently reliable devices out there. No, like the operating system is an Android, but the hardware is Google. No? Or yes? Okay, that doesn't sound so bad. 50 gigabytes for 35 bucks. That sounds pretty sweet. Oh yeah, absolutely, Ferris. Just, send it in the mail. Yeah, that's pretty, yeah. Yeah. No, that is a good deal. That's cheap for sure. Yeah, that sounds pretty third world, doesn't it? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, dude. That doesn't surprise me at all. Or here, I'll drop another one in the chat. There you go. That's the guy who keeps telling me to buy delivery from his restaurant. Do you guys know, were you guys ever familiar with MBT? He's from out your way. Did you guys watch all his videos? B, B, B as in bus. Anyways, I used to moderate for MBT's channel before it got kicked off or taken down. Curry sells from there. No, he's incarcerated. If he does, I never seen it. It was something that was never put on stream. Yeah, no, Ferris, that's a glitch, Ferris. That happened to me too. It shows that guy with all the Japanese writing, right? That's what pops up first. You have to dig deeper. Like you have to go down the list. Even try, yeah, his channel's not here anymore anyways. You could try typing in Mr. Bum Tickler and see what happens, but I tried typing in MBT a few times and yeah, I get that guy too. He has all the Yu-Gi-Oh card channel. That's not him. Anyways. his channel got taken down anyways after the whole incident where he got incarcerated. So but yeah, anyways, long story short, that's where Curry Cell came from. It's where a lot of my other people came from. He went down and we all sort of still chatted it up and things like that. Like Hugh's from that era as well. Ferris, do you watch anything on my channel? Like I made a whole video about what happened to him. Well, it's a short, but yeah. Here, I'll just go get it. Just hang on. Who's Dr. Disrespect? Come on, Ferris. We both know that that's not true. Who is Dr. Disrespect? Is that another live person? Anyways, oh shit. Fuck. Ah, fuck. Okie dokie. Down the list we go. 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 That's too far. Alrighty. Okay. That's basically his story. If you want to go look more into it, you can. Fuck, dude, he didn't beat up a tranny, man. Come on. He raised his voice and threatened. I don't even think it was a tranny. I think it was a regular person. They were wearing masks, so it was hard to tell. And the grandma freaked out like a freaking, like my mother does. Like, Canadians are so fucking sensitive. You can't do anything with them. They're always just, like that's the reality. Is like not a punch was thrown. I think he kicked him in the foot. Anyways, the $35 a month for the 50 gigabyte plan seems like a steal. Nice. Ooh, penalty kick. Well, that's that. model what? Model like remote control car? Model airplane? I thought you said you weren't a beta crybaby. Why are you putting the crybaby logo in, dude? Oh, I know, Skirt. I know, Snert. I know. Or I suspected as much, man. Like they kind of hinted around it when they kept saying Florida had never won a cup, right? That's the reality, right? Edmonton's won, I think it was 5, you know. Florida's never won a cup, so somebody else said it too. It's classified as sports entertainment, so honestly, Snert, when they went down 3-0, I thought it was just going to be a 4-game sweep and it was going to be done. But I think for ratings, they made it go to 7 games because let's be real, it's more profitable to have 7 games than it is to have 4. Ferris, how do you actually subscribe to that mindset? Like the experiment was done with wolves in captivity. We're not wolves. We're more like monkeys, if anything. And you could debate if society is captive or not. Yeah, I know, dude. 93, the Canadians. I watched that whole run. Well, not the whole run, but a lot of it. I liked Patrick Waugh. My parents put me in fucking French immersion. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I have this odd French twist because my parents thought it would be a good idea to put me in French immersion. A part of our heritage, Snert, a part of our heritage. No, I'm not. No, I'm not francophone. No, no. That means you need to be able to fluently do it. I could never fluently. Like I know some stuff, but like I would make tons of spelling mistakes and yeah. It's crazy though. It's crazy though. Oh, actually, never mind. But we had like when we were like when I was in grade 3 or maybe grade 2, our teacher was from Quebec City. She had come from Quebec City out to fucking where I'm at to teach French. That's fucked. You're what do you, Ferris? You're a welder, like you're a metal worker, or are you a HDM? Snert, you got the day off today? But yeah, Snert, I used to cheer for the Penguins too, like in the mid '90s, because I was a big Mario fan, and the Penguins went to the conference final against Florida, and then Florida upset them and went to the final against the Avalanche, and then Florida just got their butts kicked. But when they kept talking about how they're like, Florida hasn't won a cup, Florida hasn't won a cup. So I figured between that and then me remembering them way back when, that it was just sort of hinting that it was going to be like that.
Since coming on as a sub. Meantime, Swiderski is going to come on for Poland. We're about to see who is going off, and it will be Nikola Zalewski, who picked up a yellow card in the first half. So he goes off, and Swiderski comes on to replace him. Plays his club football at Hellas Verona. Although he's really belongs to Charlotte FC and MLS, but has been on loan. Hellas, bit hit and miss. He got injured just before these championships in a warm-up against Turkey, so he's only had fleeting moments out there on the pitch. But he's on there now, replacing Zalewski for Poland. We've got a quarter of the game left to try and earn a share of the spoils. They've never lost all three in a group stage, Poland, at the European Championships, but that's what they're staring at right now. Here in Dortmund, live on TalkSport 2. Lewandowski was caught by Chouameni.
That's right, Cariso.
Is being offered the hand of
Cariso, have you thought about running for politics? You know quite a bit about the country.
It will be a free kick eventually. But it looks like the free kick gone against Lewandowski. 1-0 to France.
A little bit of Real Madrid Barcelona rivalry there, Chouameni and Robert Lewandowski.
Going to be seeing Mikael Skoras of Club Brugge in a minute, but not just yet. Oh, he's just come on. There he is, wearing number 25. He came on for Szymanski. So Szymanski is off, as well as Zalewski. Skoras is on. Meantime, Kunde driving down the right-hand side, runs into Jakub Moder. So throw in for France, just over the halfway line. Just over 20 minutes to go. England play Slovenia later. Team news will be coming up very, very
Ferris,
shortly.
are you a contractor or do you work for like Peterbilt or something like that?
Jim Trafford will be inside the stadium in Cologne, full commentary. Here's Theo Hernandez coming forward for France, pulling the ball across the face of goal, and again, even with Giroud up there was nobody in front of goal to tuck it away for 2-0. Darren Bent shakes his head.
Theo Hernandez has got every right. I mean, he gives everyone their disgusting look because he does everything right. He goes down this left-hand side and he puts a great ball in. And to be fair, Giroud again, he pulls off. Usually he's the one who gets into that 6-yard box and gets his tap-ins. He tries to pull off. Then Benny's out the far side. He doesn't get himself in there. And he just flies across the back, the box for a throw on the other side. Really poor play again from the attacking players from France.
Of Kivior on the halfway line.
Oh, Ferris is putting you to work, Cariso.
Centre circle for Urbanski. He's being forced back into his own half further and further by Camavinga. 20 minutes to go. France topping the group as things stand with Austria 2-1 up in Berlin against the Netherlands. That's live over on Talk Sport right now with Adam Bridge and Mick McCarthy, your commentary team for that game.
So you run your own shop, Ferris?
Poland under pressure. Too heavy a challenge from Chouameni to win the ball back off his opposite number out there, Jakub Moder. Poland get a free kick at the edge of the centre circle.
He's lucky there, Moder, because I thought Chouameni won the ball quite cleanly there. And if he'd won it, Griezmann, Mbappe, Giroud, all the way, I think it would have been a 3v2. But the referee gives a foul there, and I'm not quite sure it was.
Play that to the left-hand side.
Ferris, do you have a degree or like a diploma?
Looks for the run of Lewandowski, made a run through the middle, but Upamecano hooks it half clear. Might drop on the right-hand side for Skoras. He tried to clip it down the right-hand side of the box for Swiderski. But France clear their line to dummy from Mbappe. Lets the ball roll up to the halfway line, but the Polish have it back. Back on the halfway line with Kivior. Strokes the ball out to the left-hand side. Frankowski, who's now switched wings. He started the game as the right wing back. He's now the left wing back. He's been dispossessed by Dembele out on that far side. Now Chouameni robbed by Lewandowski. Up to the edge of the area, goes for goal and almost caught Manuel.
Hey Ferris, did you guys go to the trucker occupation in Ottawa?
The ball went just the wrong side of that post for Robert Lewandowski, who whips up the crowd in the north stand.
Jeez, Curry got that done fast, didn't he?
France 1-0 up.
Yeah, Chouameni's lucky there. He tries to be too cute, too clever with the ball, and Lewandowski using his body gets in there, out muscles him, which is positive in itself, and he gets out his feet, and he just can't hit the target. I think by the time he hits the shot, he's stretching for it as well. But I think even if it hit the target, I think Manu would have saved it.
He was nervous though, the way he was scrambling to his right-hand side, the French keeper. That would have been interesting if that had been a half a yard or so further inside his far post. He now whacks it downfield. 18 minutes to go on Talk Sport 2. France 1, Poland 0 if you're just tuning in.
I don't know what boots Camavinga's got on, but all he's done.
So Ferris, what's your alumni?
I think he thinks he's got skis on and needs to put some wax on before he went out there. You're right though, he's lost his footing repeatedly.
You work for a corporation? Like you would be branding your own corporation badly? Is that what you're trying to say?
Left-hand side. Darts in field. Good run, Camavinga up to the edge of the area. Tried to feed it to the feet of Giroud. And it's won back by Moder. Finds Lewandowski, but the heavy touch allows Giroud to come back and win it for France. And Lewandowski's shoulders droop just a little bit. As another Poland.
So how did you get into trucks? If like tractor trailers, if you were doing like if you went to school for the aircraft stuff.
Right hand corner of the box, but he runs into trouble in the shape of Frankowski, and now Lewandowski lays it off to Urbanski, and a first-time ball to try and set Swiderski away down the left-hand side. Saliba's gone with him. Swiderski holds the ball up.
What's your alumni, Ferris?
Support from Frankowski, and he hits the ball against Dembele and wins a throw for Poland.
Like, I know, like, the type of school you would go to out here to get that, but I don't know jack about the schools out there, just the names of some of them.
Zielinski trying to thread the ball through the eye of the needle into the penalty area. Comes out to Lewandowski quite deep, 30 yards out, just chips the ball into the box. Swiderski brings it down, goes down under pressure.
Well, yeah, no, I can understand that because there's way more trucking.
It's a 3-on-3
Like,
break.
where I'm at, trucking's the largest industry in the province. So, like, if you were working with trucks, you would have way more clients. If you're working with aircraft, you would have way less clients. It's just the way it is.
I'm not sure. I think he might have got a toe on the ball. I mean, I can understand he's still down now, and I'm guessing they'll check it. But I thought Swiderski, I think it just gone.
Yeah.
He might.
Yeah, well, you don't have to be like, you don't have to be a university to be an alumni. It's just the school you graduated from. And like I said, I don't know anything about the schools out there, so I don't know where you would go to get something like that. I know where you would go out here to get something like that.
Down, and I know it's contact. You run that risk if you put a challenge in. But what I will say is contact is minimal. Not enough to take you down like he's gone down.
You don't have to talk to me about careers changing. I used to work in oil, and oil is virtually disappearing out here. So
the referee reviewing monitor away to this near touchline. And you know what normally happens there? If a referee goes to look, he changes his decision. He's gone to look. It's in between the two technical areas, this review area, in the shade here at the BayWa Stadium in Dortmund. And we wait patiently to see what the referee from Italy, Marco Guida, has decided. Polish fans believe it's going to go their way. France have this one-goal lead. The VAR decision is penalty. And Group D may well change once again in terms of its finishing places. Poland have a chance to score from the penalty spot. And of course he's going to take it. Robert Lewandowski will have the strike when he gets the ball.
I'm not sure it's the penalty dance, if I'm honest. I know it looks
no,
like
I didn't take chemical engineering.
But also it looks like he gets a little bit of the ball as well. So,
and I didn't take accounting. I just know a little bit from accounting.
Netherlands equalise against Austria. That's now 2-2, Memphis Depay. So it's all sorts of changes. I'll bring you that in a minute, but the most important thing right now is to see what happens.
Like something like accounting, you could take pretty much anywhere, any school here.
Lewandowski has the ball cradled under his arm and is about to place it on the spot away to our right. Manuel only standing a couple of yards away from.
But like if someone was going to do something that you did, they'd probably go to Sate or Nate, and they could probably get it done in half the time.
82 goals for his country.
Whereas they could go to university, but they're probably going to do extra schooling that they're not going to need.
At Signal Iduna Park. Here he is up against Manuel to bring Poland level. Poland's talisman.
Ferris, did you go for 2 years? Like, did you get a 2-year diploma?
And it's saved by Manuel. And they can't turn in the rebound. And it's got behind for a corner. And Manuel is the hero. And he's surrounded by his teammates, slapping him on the back. But the referee saying, hold on. Give the goalkeeper move up his line.
Yeah, mine was too. Both times I went to college, it was like a full-time job.
He did move off his line. It's got to be retaken.
Yeah, it looked like he did, to be fair. I mean, the penalty was a poor
The thing is like a friend of mine went to Sate and they took petroleum engineering, and it was 2 years. It's a 2-year course. If you want, you can get an applied degree through the university, but there's no guarantee that you're going to get a better job. So
it will be Lewandowski again to place the ball on the spot. Once again, Manuel is standing right in front of him. Once again, he's told to shift by the referee. So, second time of asking for Robert Lewandowski to try and bring his country level with 12 minutes to go in Dortmund on his old stomping ground.
You got that all through that school? Ferris, you didn't have to collaborate with any other schools? Hey, False God, what's up, dude?
He beats the keeper. Lewandowski levels it up.
Shit, Lewandowski just tied her up, dude.
On a major championship, but he scored his 83rd Polish goal, And he's brought them level to shake up Group D.
Who else would do it, false god? Who else would do it?
Poland one, of course, it's Lewandowski.
He was never ever going to miss that second one. After that first one, and to be fair, when he missed the first one, he screamed at the referee. He's come off his line there. You give him a second opportunity. He wasn't going to miss. And again, he does that little stutter run up. It goes the same way,
Okay.
and Manuel goes the same way. But this time,
Yeah,
it's right in the inside
like
of the
Ferris,
box. It flips
one of my
inside
roommates
the
when I
box
was
to the
going
goal
to,
to his right.
to
It's a really good
college,
penalty. And it
he was doing social work. Then a year into social work, he realized he didn't want to do it. He finished that diploma, and then through collaboration with the university, he was able to take some of those courses and put them towards a degree in sociology. Then he got a degree in sociology and turned into a total weirdo.
A thriller in Berlin. Marcel Sabitzer makes it 3-2 with 9 minutes to go there in Berlin. So Austria are winning the group again. France are second on 5 points with Austria.
I'm glad you think that's funny. I literally watched him, like all this stuff about the schools and people going weird. Like it literally, he turned into a Marxist too. He would just talk about Karl Marx. I'm like, yeah, this shit's weird. Why are they? Cultural Marxism is just taught in the schools. Like, I thought it was just a bizarre coincidence. Like it's friggin' weird.
Holds sway in Group D.
Do you know what? France better up it, because the way Poland have been, certainly when they got that goal, when France put one up after that penalty, again, it went back to that lackluster, and Mbappe's rolling the ball with his starts. They're playing with no real tempo.
Yeah, but you don't have to love it. You can just listen. He became like friggin' obsessed.
That little bit of energy, even though they're out the competition and they can't qualify. They're the ones that are playing with real energy, real competitiveness.
Kunde being forced back towards his own goal line by Swiderski. Out of play for a throw. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport.
I just am like, man, they were teaching us that back in like grade 9. Why are they still teaching it at that level, you know?
Whipping up the Polish fans away to our right-hand side in the north stand. Yusuf Fofana coming on now to replace Chouameni, who's gone behind the goal away to our right-hand side. So Fofana of Monaco wins his 20th cap as he comes on. 1-1 the score. Poland have possession. It's back on the halfway line though with Davidovic. Plays it out to the left-hand side, and Frankowski. Plays a little 1-2, and he's got a bit of space to run into. He's got Kunde back pedaling. Bit of belief from Poland here. Oh, lovely ball from Zielinski. Lewandowski blasted over from a tight angle left-hand side of the box. And suddenly Poland looked the more likely to win it. 1-1.
They're the one with the up-tempo, and to be fair, it's a good chance for Robert Lewandowski, someone of his quality.
What do we need to be taught theories for anyways? Like, we need to be taught things that are relevant to right now.
I'm pretty sure he's going to go across goalkeeper, but gets too much on it. But really sharp.
Like I don't know why they don't teach more about finance in school, like at the primary level. It's like they want you to just be absolutely retarded when it comes to money.
Desperate not to lose all three, and they've never done that in the Euros, and they're protecting that with the point that they're earning here. And in doing so, they're denying France the chance to top the group. We've got 8 minutes of normal time to go on TalkSport.
I'm glad they didn't do that to us. There was no talk about the Earth. The Earth was just left alone.
Bang on the halfway line on the far side of the field. Taken by Kivior. Turned around the corner by Swiderski. But Lewandowski won't win it. What a player. 152 caps. Now 83 goals. 600 plus career appearances.
Yeah, I kind of got the feeling.
To do more. Now he's trying to outpace Upamecano, who very cleverly.
You've never used it once in your career. Ouch.
Who clears from inside his 6-yard box up to halfway, but it sails over the head of Giroud, and Davidovic can bring it down. Poland look more likely here, Darren Bent. It's really strange.
Do you know what, Dad? I've been there as a player when you're winning. Well, not so much comfortably, but you're winning. You almost take your foot off the gas psychologically, and you start doing things you wouldn't usually do. And it's very hard to then go back to playing at that tempo.
Kivior down the left-hand side, swings the cross in. Skouras will try and keep the ball in play on this near side. Does so. Faced up by Hernandez. Plays it back into midfield, midway point of the half. Jakub Moder with a cross. Good cross. Lewandowski flicks the header over the bar. And it's a goal kick to France, 1-1. In fact, it came off Upamecano last of all, says the
Yeah, and then they come out to work in,
Again,
I don't know, whatever's available.
He pretends like he's going to run behind Upamecano, and at the last second he just darts in front of him, and it just is about half an inch too high when Lewandowski scores his second. And to be fair to Upamecano, he manages to get his head to it.
So Piotr Zielinski with a right-footed out-swinging corner just down to our right-hand side for Poland.
Yeah, well, on that note, I had a class called Personal Leadership, and it should have just been renamed How to Kiss Ass and Be Good at It. That was really stupid.
It came off the back of a French player and bounced comfortably through for Manuel. 1-1, 6 to go.
Yeah, Poland are really pushing now, and they do themselves proud.
It was like a sensitivity class. I'm not even kidding. It was like, everyone you're going to work with is an oversensitive twat. Here's how to make them feel good about it.
They don't want to lose. Never lost all 3 games in a group stage. You can quite clearly see that now. That's not in their cycle.
Oh, yeah, critical thinking, false god. Critical thinking. To me, that's what the military teaches. Military teaches good critical thinking. It's that or you're going to fucking die.
From the 2 captains. Here's Mbappe trying to drive into the box. Good clearance by Davidovic, but it comes back out to the French on the right-hand side, and Koundé. Lovely 1-2 with Mbappe. Koundé pulls it back for Giroud, and the shot is blocked. Jan Bednarek threw himself in front of the ball, and it goes behind for a French corner. That was proper last-ditch defending.
Well, at least you asked. I probably got kicked out of whatever grade 10 class I was in.
As well, which makes it even more impressive. He slips and still manages to get his body to it, but really well worked for France, and Giroud probably thinks he scored because he connects really well. A really good defender from Jan Bednarek.
But Griezmann will have the resulting corner.
But yeah, I completely agree, false god. Like, critical thinking, discernment, making decisions for yourself, that just seems to be not.
Whistles surround his introduction, the PSG man.
It's always social stigma. Make the best decision for the people around you, right?
Straight to the box, having replaced Dembele for this Griezmann corner. Left-footed out-swinger to come from the French number 7. The referee just looking at a bit of pushing and shoving as Griezmann prepares to take the corner. Now the whistle goes. 1-1 to score, 5 to play. Griezmann takes it into the near post, headed out by Lewandowski, defending his near post. Comes out to Fofana.
Oh yeah, I completely agree, false god. I completely agree. I completely agree.
Throws it back into Hernandez, gives it back to Griezmann.
That's kind of my problem, or one of my problems in life, is always thinking things have to be more complicated than they are.
To his goalkeeper. And France have another corner at 1-1.
He doesn't need the call, just clear it. He gets it completely wrong.
Mbappe's taking the corners now. In it goes into the near post. Griezmann flicks it on. Giroud heads it down. Brilliant goalkeeping from Skorupski to keep the ball away from Griezmann. And Poland clear their lines, but only as far as Koundé. Lays ball into the feet of Camavinga, who's trotting back towards his own halfway line. France are running out of time. If they want to win the group, they need a goal. It's 1-1.
Okay, Occam's razor is the simplest explanation, is usually the correct one. Is that Occam's razor?
Gets it back from Giroud, tries to drive, blocked by Moder. And now Skoras on as a substitute, hits the ball against Moani and wins the throw for Poland to huge cheers from the Polish contingent to our right-hand side. 1-1.
It looked like something's happened to Mbappe. I mean, he's really holding his face. He's moved the mask up as well. It looks like he's taking a bang on that nose. Obviously, he's had fracture, but look, he's had to move the mask. He's waving. He's clearly putting it up.
Do you ever remember that episode of Simpsons? I think Lisa says that Occam's razor, the simplest explanation is usually the right one, and then the kid says, I think it's Bart, he says, well, what's the simplest explanation? And then Lisa says, I don't know, maybe they're all reverse vampires and they have to get home before dark.
2.5 minutes of normal time to go. Is there a winner in it for either side? Because let's face it, Poland have earned their equaliser by sheer dogged determination. Ball's on halfway with Kivior.
Yeah, reverse vampires. Yeah, right.
Free kick. Bang on halfway. Poland have it out on the left-hand side with Zielinski. Frankowski making a run, tries to get inside Koundé, goes down. Koundé under pressure from Swiderski. Puts the ball out. Is that giving us a French throw? It is. The time is running out for Deschamps and co.
I just wonder if Poland had played like this in the first 2 games in the group stages, I don't think they'll be going home. The way that they've played, the energy they've shown this last 15 minutes, they've really given France a game.
Now a yellow card for Davidovic for a foul on Giroud, just shy of the halfway line, rubbing the back of his head ruefully as he gets to his feet. Olivier Giroud. Free kick taken short. Into the last couple of minutes of normal time. In fact, 90 seconds to go. France coming forward with Theo Hernandez, left-hand side of the box, tries to pull it back for Mbappe, but Skoras, back defending, stepped in front of the French captain and got his foot to the ball. Now it's with Jakob Moder, midway point of his own half. Lays it down to Urbanski, but his ball over halfway is going to be goaled up by Youssouf Fofana. Last minute of normal time, 1-1 in Dortmund. Austria are winning the group as it stands. They're 3-2 up against the Netherlands. Live on TalkSport, condemning the Netherlands as it stands to third place in the group. They will qualify though as one of the best third place finishers. Here's Mbappe, shifting the ball into the area, looking for Giroud. Easily defended, but a good touch from Urbanski.
No, see, False God, I agree with you. That's teachers, though. The teachers could always teach the kids that the learning doesn't stop, right? Like my dad always used to say that. He's like, oh, the learning doesn't stop, you know? Like, you'll get out of school and you'll have to learn more and stuff. And yeah, so what you say about you can always know more, it was presented to me as the learning never stops, if you, right? Because when you think about it, there's kind of an infinite amount of knowledge to know anyways. And if you want to keep going, you have to keep learning.
Their group. France want to top this group, but as we go into 5 minutes of minimum stoppage time,
that's awesome.
This 1-1 scoreline.
We need teachers like your dad over here.
Skoras loses out, and away comes Mbappe down the left-hand side of the area. Defenders backpedaling. Tries to put it across the face of goal with the outside of his right boot. Goes behind for a French corner. Away to our left-hand side, 1-1.
Yeah, they again, congested penalty area. Poland players getting towards Mbappe, not allowing him to come back onto that right foot.
Mbappe takes the corner.
Pedagogy. What's pedagogy?
It's half cleared by Poland.
Is that like pediatrician?
Further downfield. Poor touch from Theo Hernandez means he has to go back into the centre circle to retrieve the ball. 1-1. Nearly a minute gone of the 5 that have been added on by the Italian referee. Austria 3-2 up on the Netherlands. That's in stoppage time as well. Over in Berlin, they've got 6 minutes of added time there. Now, here is Fofana, goes down under pressure, but the referee says play on. Mbappe, left-hand corner.
Oh, I see.
Gets the ball on his right, still wants to shoot, does get the shot, and it's deflected, and it makes the save more comfortable in the end for Skorupski. 1-1.
It's been a bit one-dimensional from Mbappe this second half. I mean, he's getting the ball on his left-hand side, and the Polish defenders know exactly what he wants to do. He's cutting inside, he feints, and then he goes back inside again to have a shot.
False God, what's your mom do?
A couple of times, go on the outside, using the foot, and then just fire it across. It may hit someone and go in.
It's Darren Bent, you can hear alongside me, Ian Dante here in Dortmund. Playing out time here, with Poland already knowing before kickoff they were going home. But they're going home with their heads held high at the moment. But now, Hernandez is pulled back by Swiderski as he tried to break down the left-hand side. Easy yellow card for the referee to give. And France have a free kick about 5 or 6 yards in from this.
Yeah, that was a very selfish play, Indian Carousel. And I'm a Zidane fan, and I thought that was one of the most selfish things I've ever seen.
I mean, it's going into the injury time. It's clear through on goal. The next pass would have been a cross or a shot at goal.
Oh, that's. Oh, you've got double teachers for parents. Okay.
Poland holding their defensive line just inside the 18-yard line. Upamecano's way over on the far side of the field. Mbappe's gone near post. In it comes from Griezmann. Lovely delivery, and it hits the chest of Upamecano. He goes behind for a goal kick. 2.5 minutes of stoppage time gone. Still France 1, Poland 1.
Yeah, got a little bit too much air on that one, Antoine Griezmann. He's gone to deliver it, and everyone's almost kind of clambered into the middle of the goal, towards the front of the goal, and it's kind of eluded everyone in it. I think it hits Upamecano on the back.
Of course, yeah, but so does everything. That's life in general.
So, France finishing second in the group. As things stand, Austria are going to be the group winners of Group D.
That's crazy. Austria is going to be the winners.
Goal kick smack downfield midfield by Skorupski, who's had a good game in goal for Poland this afternoon, winning what is only his 11th cap, getting a chance without Szczesny getting a run this afternoon.
He's done really well, made some really good saves today. He looked really assured as well when he's come for crosses.
They got it. Okay, Netherlands got an own goal, and I'm pretty sure Austria is going to beat them.
So we played nearly 4 minutes of the.
I was going to stream that one. I did this one instead.
Over on TalkSport, our coverage starting.
Yeah, Wow is right, dude. Yeah, Wow is right.
The ball to the right-hand side of the box. Kunde brings it down, fires it across the face of goal. There's pinball in the box, but it's the red shirts of Poland that get it clear. Lewandowski fighting for the ball near the halfway line with Upamecano. Goes out of play, and it will be a Poland throw. And they'll love that, Lewandowski and co.
That's what he's done so well today, Robert Lewandowski. At times, they've just blasted it forward. He's used his body. Upamecano and Saliba, big physical centre-halves. He's backed in, he's won fouls, he's turned them. He's won inside a throw-in over there. He's been really, really impressive today.
Poland have the throw out on the left-hand side. 30 seconds of stoppage time left to play on TalkSport 2. Lewandowski can't control the throw. Upamecano will guide it back to his keeper at pace. One more chance.
Well, and their goal differential will be good. Their goal differential might be like 0 or a -1, right? Like when Scotland lost to Germany like 5-1, their goal differential was so bad they basically lost out of the group the moment they lost to Germany.
Ball bouncing around midfield. Poland getting up to halfway. Lewandowski holds off Camavinga. Camavinga then wins the ball back, but illegally so. Free kick to Poland. And Didier Deschamps says, why was that given? And why wasn't a foul given on Mbappe earlier? 1-1.
Do you know what? It looks like he's got a touch there. I think Mbappe generates the contact. I don't think it's a foul. I think he almost looks for it. He holds his body position and then almost runs in to wait for the contact from Davidovic. I don't think it's a foul.
So free kick bang on halfway to Poland. With the score at 1-1, Svidesi saying, play it into me, in between the two centre-halves. That's the attempt. But the full-time
I'll be right back.
Goes in Dortmund, and France have missed the chance to top Group D as Poland hold them to a 1-1 draw here in Dortmund. A tale of two penalties from the two skippers. Kylian Mbappe put France in front 10 minutes into the second half after Dembele was brought down by Kivior. But then when Swiderski was fouled by Upamecano 20 minutes later, Robert Lewandowski back on his old stomping ground here at Borussia Dortmund Stadium, equalised with a twice taken penalty. The first saved by Magnon, but penalised for coming off his goal line. And Lewandowski was not to miss at the second time of asking. And so France, with Austria 3-2 up, are going to finish second in Group D. Austria look like they're going to win the group. And even though Poland are going home, they've still managed to keep their record of not having lost all three in the group stage at a European Championship. But France only have one goal in the group stage, scored by a French player, and it had to come from the penalty spot. Darren Bent.
Yeah, really poor from France. I thought when they went 1-0 up, they'd really up it now and go and get 2 and 3, and they didn't do that. It's almost like they scored the first on the penalty spot. I thought their job was done. They stopped getting men into the box. They started to kind of do the little 5-yard passes, little flicks, little tricks, and it just didn't work. But fair play to Poland. As you said there, they are going home, but they gave it absolutely everything that second half. That second half performance from about the 75-minute on is probably the best I've seen them play this whole tournament. They go home, they've done their fans proud, they've done themselves proud, and have ended their tournament at least on a positive with a really good performance against France, certainly in that second half.
Well, with that in mind, let's take a look at the King performance, thanks to Burger King.
King Performance on TalkSport 2 with Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction with the Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus. Order your Burger King delivery now.
So, Darren Bent, who was your king performer in that 90-plus minutes here in Dortmund?
Well, do you know what? I was going to go for Dembele because I thought he was brilliant. I thought he attacked really well, but I'm going to have to go for the man we may never see at another major tournament for Poland. That's Robert Lewandowski. I think he spent so much time isolated, but when the ball did come to him, he held it. Obviously, he missed the first penalty when the goalkeeper came off his line. He scored the second one. Everything he did, everything that Poland did going forward, he was at the heart of it. So I'm going to go for Robert Lewandowski.
I'll also have a bit of a word for Skorupski in goal for Poland, who made important saves when he was asked to do that. That was our king performance pick in association with Burger King. Coming up next, more live football for you across the network. Denmark against Serbia is here live on TalkSport 2. England against Slovenia live on TalkSport. Adrian Durham, Stuart Pearce, Jim Proudfoot in Cologne. Full commentary of that match. But here at the Dortmund Stadium, France have not won their final group stage match in any of the last major tournaments. They look set to put that right this afternoon, but Robert Lewandowski and Poland had other ideas, and so France looks set to finish second in Group D. Indeed they do, because Austria have beaten the Netherlands 3-2. So Netherlands third, France second, Austria first. What a turn up for the books in Group D. But France march on to the knockout stages. Poland go home. The final score here at the Bay Stadium: France 1, Poland 1.
Euro Game Day Live, delivered by TalkSport 2 with Burger King, official providers of food fulfillment. That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction. Order your Burger King delivery now.
I need to get snacks, I need to get drinks, should have done this beforehand. I need to get drinks, gotta find them, beep. Oh, my mates, they won't like me, gotta find them. Oh, there it is.
BP is here for all your big game essentials. Plus, BP Me Rewards members can earn points to put towards great saves.
Adam in the car 1, hungry mates, nil.
BP, here for all of life's journeys. BP Me Rewards card or app required. For full T's and C's, visit bpmerewards.co.uk.
Strength comes from confidence, both on and off the pitch. And confidence starts with self-care. Upgrade your game with
Hey,
Dove
Shan,
Men
thanks
Plus
for
Care
coming in.
Advanced 72-hour sweat protection, antiperspirant deodorant, and Dove Men Plus Care 24-hour nourishing body wash. Perfect for your post-match shower.
Yeah,
Available in
yeah,
eucalyptus
because
and mint long-lasting
it's
fresh
close.
fragrance.
Like, I don't think England needs a win. Well, they don't need one, but if they tie, they're putting themselves in a predicament.
Get match ready with Club Card prices. Like 25% off 6 or more bottles of wine or fizz. With Tesco Club Card, everyone can feel the lower prices. Tesco, every little helps. 18+ drinkware.co.uk, majority of large stores and first.
Yeah, they are. They're sitting at the top of their group.
Prepare for greatness with William Hill. Get ready for last-minute winners, legendary goals, and straight red cards.
They've just looked
what was he thinking?
a little
Win 50% more
like
on
lackadaisical,
every England
but
game this tournament.
either way,
Bet
that
Builder
doesn't.
Extra
That's just a
online
look.
or
It
in
doesn't
the
mean that
app.
they
Only
are.
from William Hill. Available day before match to kick off. Bet builders with 3+ selections at 3-1 or more. Pre-match singles, match stake £20. Full T's and C's.
Yeah,
18+,
yeah, yeah.
Let's
Exactly.
go live to hear about that winning goal.
The crowd's gone absolutely wild here. How on earth do you sum up your emotions right now?
Amazing.
To me, they just look like they're lacking some intensity. Like, it's like they play intense for 20 minutes and then they just
Really better than
hang back and watch.
Burger King. That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction. Like finishing the last bite of the Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus.
No.
Correct. Burger King. That's food fulfillment.
Here we are then, Jeff. Just minutes to go until the whistle. Will they make it?
Tense is an understatement, Jeff. There's so much riding on it. The question is, will they be able to find that extra gear when they need it most?
And here we go. Oh, yes, they've made it.
No, Ferris, I didn't play
Driver,
FIFA Street.
properly maintained vehicle.
Love to see that.
It's starting, come on.
Make sure your journey to the match is a smooth one. Book a free vehicle safety check today at quickfit.com or your local centre. QuickFit, drive away happy every time.
When Andre sold his car on finance with Motorway, he got more money. Ooh! He then put that extra money into tickets to follow his team around the country. Selling on Motorway was completely stress-free, which is more than I can say about being a supporter of... Sell your car the more money way, where 84% of sellers sold for more. Motorway. Validated against 2 independent sources. Visit motorway.co.uk/claims.
Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport 2 with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly. This summer, vote for TalkSport, your official general election and football station.
Full live commentary of UEFA Euro 2024 Germany throughout the tournament.
It's a stunner. Plus, almost full commentary. General election started already.
Talk Sport.
And here they come. What a magnificent sight. Yes, it's live British horse racing on the radio, and TalkSport 2 have got it covered. Tomorrow afternoon from 1, TalkSport 2 will bring you full coverage and live race commentary of all the action. Direct from Worcester. Saddle up for live British horse racing on the radio. Download the TalkSport app and swipe left. Or ask your smart speaker to play TalkSport 2 to follow all the action. Tomorrow afternoon from 1 on TalkSport 2.
Sounds like summer, feels like football.
UEFA Euro 2024, Germany.
Energizing ball by ball, kick by kick coverage of the biggest tournament in European football.
Crank it up.
Euro Game Day Live
on TalkSport 2.
Co-founder